Manual testing is a type of software testing in which test cases are executed manually by a tester without using any automated tools. The purpose of manual testing is to identify the bugs, issues, and defects in the software application. What is software? A software is a type of program which enables the users to perform some particular specific task. Types of software: product, project. Product: make a specific product and try to market it as a solution, but project is a solution based on many products and sell it as a packaged solution to a particular need or problem. What is software testing? Software testing is a process of verifying a system with the purpose of identifying any errors, gaps, or missing requirement versus the actual requirement. Why do we need software testing? It is cost effective, customer satisfaction, security, product quality. Software development lifecycle, which includes 5 phases. The first phase is requirement analysis, design, development, testing, maintenance. In the requirement analysis, it is the most important and fundamental stage in software development lifecycle. It is performed by the senior member of the team with inputs from the customers, the sales departments, market surveys, and domain experts in the industry. This information is then used to plan the basic project approach and to conduct project feasibility study in the economical, operational, and technical area. Then the second phase is design phase. A design approach clearly defines all the architecture models of the products along with its communication and data flow representation with the external and third party modules. Then the third stage is development. In this stage of software development lifecycle, the actual development starts and the product is built. The programming code is generated as per DDS during this stage. And the fourth stage is testing. In this stage, testing is only stage of the product where product defects are reported, tracked, fixed, and retested until the product reaches the quality standards defined in the SRS. Then the last stage is deployment and maintenance. Once the product is tested and ready to be deployed, it is released formally in the appropriate market. Sometimes product deployment happens in stages as per the business strategy of that organization. Then we have hierarchy of software testing. Two types of testing: static testing, dynamic testing. Static testing is about the prevention of the defects, whereas dynamic testing is about finding and fixing the defects. Static testing does the verification process while dynamic testing does the validation process. Then we have functional testing and non-functional testing. Functional testing verifies each functions or features of the software, whereas non-functional testing verifies non-functional aspects like performance, usability, reliability, performance of the system. We have two parts in functional testing, like white box testing, black box testing. Black box testing is a software testing method in which the internal structure or design or implementation of the item being tested is not known to the tester. White box testing is a software testing method in which the internal structure, design, implementation of the item being tested is known to the user. Then we have unit testing and integration testing. Unit testing is done by the developers where they check for the program functionalities. Black box testing as other part, integration testing, which has many types like smoke or sanity testing, regression testing, system testing, user acceptance testing. These are the major test techniques to deal with the bugs. We have boundary value analysis. Boundary value analysis is another black box testing technique which is used to find the error at boundaries of input domains. Then we have example for that. Here the example is age, where the user must enter the age between 18 to 56. This is the real world example where the example we can take it as voter when the user fills the voter ID form. Equivalence class partition. This is also a software testing techniques that divides the input data of a software unit into partitions of equivalent data from which test cases can be derived. Design table testing is a software testing technique used to test system behavior for different input combinations. This is a systematic approach where the different input combinations and their corresponding system behavior are captured in a tabular form. The example we have taken is ATM transaction. State transition test is a black box testing technique in which challenges made in input condition cause state changes or output changes in the application under test. The example you have taken is once the user enters wrong password more than three times, the card will be blocked. Error guessing. Smoke testing verifies the entire system from end to end, whereas sanitary testing verifies only a particular component. Error guessing. Error guessing is one of the testing techniques used to find bugs in software application based on testers' prior knowledge. Then we have regression testing versus retesting. Retesting and regression testing. Regression testing is to ensure that changes have not affected unchanged part. Retesting is done to make sure that the test cases which failed in the last execution are passed after the defects are fixed. Then we have globalization testing and localization testing. Localization testing is the software testing process for checking the localized version of the product for that particular culture or local settings. Globalization testing is a software testing method used to ensure that software application can function in any culture or local platform. By testing the software functionality using each type of international input possibles. Then we have end-to-end testing. End-to-end testing is a technique that tests the entire software product from the beginning to end to ensure the application flow behavior as expected. It defines the product system dependencies and ensure all integrated pieces work together as expected. What is explanatory testing? It is also a type of testing that where test cases are not created in advance but testers check system on the fly. It is widely used in agile models and is all about discovery, investigation and learning. Explanatory testing is simultaneous process of test design and test execution all done at the same time. What is Adhoc testing? It is also a type of testing which is mainly done by the experienced people where they don't need any document test designs or test cases. Software testing lifecycle, which includes 6 major phases. Software testing lifecycle stands for STLC, sequence of different activities performed by the testing team to ensure the quality of the software of the product. STLC is an integral part of software development lifecycle, but STLC deals only with the testing phase. STLC provides a step-by-step process to ensure quality software. 6 major phases of STLC. We have requirement analysis, test planning, test case designing, test environment setup, test execution, test closure. When the SRD is ready and shared with the stakeholders, the testing team starts high-level analysis concerning the application user test. Test team plans the strategy and approach. Test case designing. In this phase, they develop the test cases based on scope and criteria. Then we have test environment setup. In this phase, when integrated environment is ready to validate the product. Test execution. It is real-time validation of product and finding bugs. Test closure. Once testing is complete, matrix report results are documented. Test case contents. These 10 contents need to be there while preparing the test case documentations. Then we have test case templates. This is the templates we follow for the test case documentation. Then we have requirement traceability matrix. A requirement traceability matrix is a document that demonstrates the relationship between requirements and other artifacts. It's used to prove that requirements have been fulfilled, and it typically documents requirements test and test results and issues. It confirms 100% test coverage. It highlights any requirements missing. This is the major advantage. Then we have defect or bug. A bug is the result of coding error, and a defect is a deviation from the requirements. A defect does not necessarily mean there is a bug in the code. It could be a function that was not implemented but defined in the requirement of the software. This is the bug life cycle. First, we have new. This is the first stage of the defect in the defect life cycle. When any defect is found, it falls in a new state, and validation and testings are performed on this defect in the later stage of the defect life cycle. Once the bug is found, then it will be assigned to a developer. In this stage, a newly created defect is assigned to the development team for working on the defect. Then we have open. Here the developer starts the process of analyzing the defects and works on fixing it. If required, if the developer feels that the defect is not appropriate, then it may get transferred to any of the below 4 states, namely duplicate, rejected, deferred, not a bug. Then we have fixed. When the developer finishes the task of fixing a defect by making the required changes, then he can mark the status of the defect as fixed. Then we have pending retest. After fixing the defect, the developer assigns the defect to a tester for retesting the defect at the end. Until the tester works on retesting the defect, the state of the defect remains in pending retest. Then we have retest. At this point, the tester starts the test of working on the retesting of the defect to verify if the defect is fixed accurately by the developer as per the requirements or not. Reopen. If any issues persist in the defect, then it will be assigned to the developer again for testing, and the status of the defect gets changed to reopen. Verified. If the tester does not find any issues in the defect after being assigned to the developer for retesting, and he feels that if defects has been fixed accurately, then the status of the defects gets assigned to verified. Then we have the last phase, that is closed. When the defect does not exist any longer, then the tester changes the status of the defect to closed. Then we have defect metrics. Defect metrics, a variety of metrics on the number and nature of defects found by annual testers, including defects by priority, defect by severity, defects slippage ratio, the percentage of defects that manual testers did not manage to identify before the software was shipped. Thank you.